Good morning, Arizona. This is your host, Kyle Smith.
And good morning, Vietnam. This is Jose Tapia. How you doing?
And good night, Canada. But we start off today. This is actually obviously the start of the week, but the Mueller report came down, and well, it's what I expected for 2 years now. Is a whole lot of nothing.
But why are people so angry now? Why are people crying on TV?
Well, because they bought into their savior, Robert Mueller, the second coming of Christ himself. You know, they had plenty of skits on SNL about how great he was, and I saw a Christmas jingle back. It's from during Christmas from some cringy people singing carols, but with Robert Mueller giving indictments for Christmas. It was
That's a big yikes. That's a big. It's gonna be a yikes for me, fam.
that's a big oof. So, AG William Barr hasn't come out with the redacted report yet, but the summary is that there are no further indictments. There's no evidence of collusion, so President Trump's basically exonerated on that. And Robert Mueller came to no decision on obstruction of justice and basically passed off to Barr, who says he's not going to do anything.
Wow.
So
Was he appointed by Trump? Barr, William Barr. I can actually look it up actually if you don't know. But that would be interesting.
I know he's served under previous presidents, I believe Bush.
Oh, okay. So this is probably just a continuation.
No, well, I think no, he was hired after Sessions, but
Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, he held numerous posts with the Department of Justice, including the Deputy Attorney General from 1990 to 1991.
right. So, but the thing is, yeah, the DOJ is not going to pursue a count of obstruction of justice, and it's a little hard to make that claim when there's no justice to obstruct.
Yeah,
It's kind of
seriously.
contingent on the collusion
Being
claim.
there,
Yeah.
actually happening, evidence of it happening, and now this, a big old nothing burger. No wonder they're so pissed, man.
Yeah.
And it's like they keep holding out. They're like desperate. That's what it feels like. It just feels like desperation.
Oh, of course. You have people like Rachel Maddow who, I think over a span of like several months, literally half of her coverage was on Russia, and it blew every other show out of the water, and it worked because her ratings went way up, and because people wanted to tune into the conspiracy theory, man.
Yep.
The thing
There's
is
something big going on here. I know it.
Yeah, the thing is that both sides loves conspiracy theories. On the right, you got Alex Jones. The difference is that Alex Jones has actual entertainment value.
Yeah, I don't think people understand. There's no fun in being such a wanker, dude. I mean, damn.
Wanker.
Crying over Russia. It's like it didn't happen.
No, yeah. What I'm saying is the difference is that Alex Jones has entertainment value, and very few people actually take him seriously. I'd say the majority of his viewers actually don't take him seriously, or at least on most things.
I mean, he has some points. He's not dumb. He's not dumb. He says kooky stuff, but he's not dumb.
Yeah. Whereas Rachel Maddow, there's no fun there. But I'm just saying that both sides tune into the conspiracy theories, and her ratings shot way up. And as soon as the Mueller report came down, the first day after, her ratings fell by 19%.
Wow. Nothing to listen to.
And she was pretty teary-eyed on TV.
Oh, maybe she gets some more views because of that.
Which has happened several times.
Yeah, she needs help.
There's another time she was crying because she's reading about children going to like child centers on the border.
Mm-hmm.
Which I always found the whole thing to be crocodile tears. Like, oh, we shouldn't split up the family. Well, the alternative to not splitting up the family is to incarcerate the children as well. So, yeah, I'm all for splitting up the family until all that gets sorted out.
People don't.
And then the child getting sent to a comfier, nicer facility.
Yeah, because they're kids. Well,
Not to mention that it needs to be sorted out if that's their actual family.
Yeah, we
children get
abducted.
Abducted and brought across the border for sex trafficking.
Yeah, it's like I think a lot of people don't understand that a lot of time it's to protect them as well. Because a lot of people, coyotes, they treat these people very badly when they bring them across the border.
Yeah.
Use young girls, as objects. It's documented, and the cartel was a major player in that.
Yeah, I actually think it's the more humane thing to split them up, and reunite them eventually when they get sent back to Mexico, or whatever the case may be.
It's not so bad to go back there.
Yeah.
Just stay away from the cartel.
Yeah, but anyways, back to Russia.
And bring cash so you can pay off the cops.
Yeah, so Rachel Maddow was crying again. That's her shtick. That's what she does.
Wah.
Wah. She and her ratings fell. And people were only tuning in because of the conspiracy theory. People eat that up. Both the right and the left. So there's all this journalisming about how right-wing conspiracy theory this and conspiracy theory that. When you had two mainstream left-wing conspiracy theories, which was Russian collusion, and now I wouldn't say it's super mainstream, but people of power saying it, the apocalypse is gonna happen in 12 years.
It's always doomsday speak, man.
Why
is it always doomsday speak with these liberals? The world's gonna end. I don't know.
Everything's doom and gloom all the time.
It's not attractive for a party. You have to bring some light into it, something to look at and strive forward to. And it just doesn't seem like they're capturing the will of the people. It's just complaining. It seems like complaining. Complaining is not action, really. I don't think so. There's nothing to follow.
No, you have to have a positive plan, which is actually why. It's fine for President Trump to take a victory lap now on the whole Mueller thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as actually, and that revs up the base. But as far as actually gaining votes, it'd be best for him not to stay on that for too long as the main point, and to move forward with okay, we've done this positively. We're looking to still do this positively, and then look at the bad policy of the Democrats. He's staying on the Mueller stuff, which is it's big. It is ammunition, but as the main point that wouldn't work in the actual campaign. Thankfully, we're not in the campaign season yet.
But I think it will be probably.
Yeah, I think he'll shift tone.
Yeah.
Once it actually turns to actual campaign season.
Yeah, because right now I think he's somewhat mellow. Some tweets here and there, but I don't think he's.
Well, he had his first rally in a while the other day in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He called Adam Schiff a pencil neck. I thought it was hilarious. So, yeah, but people are still holding out on there may be collusion or we don't know or as far as people like Bill Maher goes I didn't need the Mueller report. I know in my heart that he's a Russian agent.
In my heart, my soul.
Yeah, this and that. So
Jesus Christ, man.
The facts don't matter. But I think the Mueller report from the get-go, it wasn't going to really change many people's minds. I think some people on the left have accepted it. But not all people. I mean, I've seen just everyday people comment sections things like, oh, we didn't see the Mueller report. We saw William Barr's representation of the Mueller report.
That means it's not actually doesn't actually represent what's on there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the dude's not gonna lie. If there's indictments, there'd be indictments, and if he misrepresented Mueller would come out and say it because we already know he's vocal. He outright came out and denounced that BuzzFeed article from months ago. That was fake news.
Which one again? Remind me. Remind the audience of what you're speaking of.
I just remember BuzzFeed came out with an article that was supposedly damaging to Trump. I think.
What was it about?
Like Trump knew of some meeting or something. I don't know, something like that, and then Mueller just came out and said, "No, it's totally false."
Oh, I do remember that actually. Yeah. And then, that's just memory hold, not spoken of again. It's ridiculous.
Yep, but the smarter Democrats and people on the left are banning and just saying, like, okay, we lost that, didn't happen. Or now we're moving on to the next anti-Trump talking point. Those are the smarter lefts. The dumber lefts are just doubling down as just like, we need Congress to launch an investigation, the House more specifically, to launch an investigation now.
Who else is going to launch an investigation? Just everybody.
I want to bring in.
Oops. Excuse me.
Whoops. We're not bringing anyone, folks.
No, I accidentally clicked the link.
Or like I've already gave you the talk points, like, we've only seen Barr's representation of it, and we need to subpoena Robert Mueller to get him into Congress to testify.
What is that going to change?
I don't know.
Why would he say anything that's not already in the report?
I don't know. One hilarious thing about when it came out is when the Mueller report came out, James Comey, a former head of the FBI,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he was at, but he took a picture of him on some cliff, and I forget the caption of that one. But then only soon after, he's a picture of him in the forest, and he's just like, so many questions. That was the caption. So many more questions or whatever. And it was just, I don't know. I couldn't get the suicide iconography out of my head. It was just a real life meme. He's just like,
I got it. Wait, what? Who was it again?
James Comey.
James Comey cliff. I'm just gonna Google it. I gotta see this.
Well, what's up with Democrats and forests after like losses? Like Hillary Clinton, after she lost, supposedly just some person found her in a forest. Which, by the way, that was set up too because that woman you never saw that picture. It was pretty meme worthy.
Oh, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing it now. Wow, James Comey is really going through it. And this is a picture of him looking up in a forest.
Yeah.
Like, what is he doing? Who's taking the picture? He's just looking straight up. It's actually nice trees, nice forest.
But after the 2016 election...
Apparently he's really tall, too.
Yeah. After the 2016 election, some woman's like, I was just taking a walk in the forest and ran into Hillary Clinton after she lost. It's like, what's up with Democrats and forests?
They want to seem closer to nature. I don't know. Make them more naturalistic.
Or they just get super depressed.
I think it's their attempt to mimic an air of authenticity because people, when they look at nature, of course it's authentic. There's nothing to misrepresent. And so if they probably put themselves next to nature, like James Comey is in another picture that he tweeted out.
What was the caption of that one?
Geologic time offers useful perspective. And he's staring out over a cliff, looking at the ocean.
I just can't.
Like, what does that even mean?
Just
what
obviously suicide's not comical, but in my head, it's just a comical representation.
It's kind of goofy, TBH fam. Like, I know what they're going for to make them more approachable, but I don't know. I can't take them seriously.
No. Just like Chris Matthews, also on MSNBC, was a real man. Like, we know this meeting happened, this happened, and how could he get away with this? But basically, the Mueller report says that the Trump campaign.
Oh yeah, this guy, the old guy.
Yeah.
Whose voice I do not like. He sounds like he's about to run out of breath every time.
Oh, Chris Matthews. Okay, that was horrible.
I think
disregard that.
I think I heard it. I heard a little bit of it.
Okay.
Hardball with Chris Matthews.
Yeah.
On MSNBC.
You made me lose my train of thought.
Oh, he's livid over the Mueller report.
Yeah, he's pretty mad. Oh, okay. Anyways, back to basically. So far, the Mueller report says that the Trump campaign met with several Russian nationals, but there's no proof that they met with Russian government officials, and also that these meetings that took place, there's no proof that that they received any help as far as the campaign went.
Boy.
Just like the meeting at Trump Tower with Don Jr., they met with some Russian national woman that said she had info, opponent research info on Hillary Clinton, but she didn't have anything, so nothing actually took place.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Oh, you thought you had it. It's not. Oh, it's not here. It's over there.
Well, the thing is that Hillary Clinton literally did the same thing. The only difference is that she was using Brits. And then that Fusion GPS report or dossier that was totally fake.
Remind me what that was again?
The whole Trump. Well, it had several claims in it, but one claim was that the Russian government held documents, either recordings or photos of Trump with prostitutes in Russia who he liked to partake in golden showers, if you know what that means.
Yes, I know what that means.
Yes.
We don't need to remind the audience of that. They don't know. It's best you don't.
Yeah. So
wasn't that made up by like some dude on the internet and like peddled around and then it became a meme?
It was made up by, he was a former British spy working for Fusion GPS. I don't know where he got all this false info from, but the only people that published it were like BuzzFeed, and then CNN ran with it.
CNN, what is you doing? Why are you doing this? Anything they'll jump at, man.
Yeah,
it's sad. Where has journalism gone? It's literally pick a side, the job.
Moving on to something the country lost with was Jussie Smollett. He basically got off scot-free. He only had to pay his bail, which he already had paid, which was $10,000, and do a whole 18 hours of community service, which he'd already done.
So he's doing the service because there was some fault found, but they just reduced the sentence to literally nothing because he's rich. And I remember somebody tweeted that the case of Jussie Smollett totally disproves the myth of white privilege.
I wouldn't say that. The whole narrative about like white privilege being this like far-reaching, always present thing is BS. I mean, I will say that someone's probably gone off lighter or free because they're white. I'm not going to say that's never happened. But in this case, there's a whole lot of rich and
powerful people
connected privilege because, well, Jussie Smollett has a relationship with the Obamas, and the Attorney General of the county has a relationship with the Obamas. Yeah.
Really makes you think.
Yeah, really makes you think. And obviously, Chicago is where the Obamas are from.
Huh. Could this have been orchestrated with the help of the previous?
Now, I'm no Rachel Maddow conspiracy theory pusher.
I know.
But I'm just saying there's some interesting facts there.
There might be some connection.
Yes.
If we look into it.
Trump has already come out and says he wants the DOJ and FBI to investigate her.
There's pictures. They're in the White House together.
Former Obama cabinet member Rahm Emanuel, who's the current mayor of Chicago, was real displeased.
Yeah.
The police union already filed a complaint against the AG, Fox. It's the whole thing's fishy. The funny thing is that people were like, okay, then he's totally exonerated. And then CNN interviewed one of the prosecutors that were behind the deal, and they asked him, like, does this exonerate him? And he said no. And they asked, well, do you think he's guilty? And he said yeah.
Wow.
And then the thing is, like, if that's true, then what's the reasoning behind this basically plea bargain, even though it's not classified as such? But the thing is, even with the plea bargain, you're basically admitting you're guilty at least.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting off light, but you're admitting you're guilty. He didn't even have to admit he was guilty.
No. He's still maintaining that. Didn't he interview? And
he had a short press conference, and he didn't say much.
What a wanker, my friends. How can you trust a guy like that? He's a liar.
Well, not
Even
only
in
him,
New York, New York
but
Post.
how are you supposed to trust the system?
Yeah, that's our legal system, dude.
Yeah.
That's how corrupt they are.
Yeah, which is why
It's a perversion.
I won't, like I've already said, the whole thing of like, oh, white privilege being some far-reaching always present thing is dumb. It's definitely possible for the system to go the other way around and some white guy to just get off, but so I won't outright say that because this black guy got away with something, then that means white privilege has never ever existed.
But it doesn't mean that black privilege doesn't exist.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think everyone has quote unquote privilege in certain areas.
Yes. I honestly believe so.
Yeah. I just hate kind of that term.
Yeah.
But if you want to, like...
It's so tiresome.
Yeah. It's tiresome because of how people bring it up as just, like, an excuse for their own failings or something.
Yeah.
But I will say it never exists. I won't say that, but it's gotten so tiresome because of how people use it and how often they use it.
Yeah.
Like, people say, like, they bring up white privilege with Brock Turner. If you don't remember Brock Turner, he was convicted of raping a fellow college student in California, and he only got 6 months. But I don't even think it was white privilege. The judge's reasoning was like, "Oh, it'll ruin his career," and I think because he was like a star swimmer or something, and I think that was more kind of, I guess, athletic privilege. I don't think it was because he's white. I think the judge was just dumb.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When it's a victim that's a person of color or, in question, I think a lot of people jump to the conclusion that the perpetrator, or not even like a criminal perpetrator, but let's say like a policeman pulls over a black guy for something when he really didn't do anything wrong. Like, it's not necessarily because it's black. Maybe the police officer is just dumb. Like, if he pulled over a white guy for no reason, we'd assume the cop is just an ass or he's dumb.
Yeah.
But if it's a black guy, we assume that it's racist. And sometimes it is, but I'll just say, like, I wouldn't jump to conclusions every time that race is the number one factor.
But it's an easy answer.
Yeah.
It's an easy answer, and it makes other people who are against you automatically viewed as the perpetrator, as like the bad guy.
Yeah,
because you can't be for racism, so how can you be against me?
No, but I'd say
dumb logic, man.
I'd say stupidity is more widespread than racism.
Yes, I would totally agree with that.
So I would attribute more of those kinds of mistakes to stupidity rather than racism, though.
And everybody
I never like to call racist unless there's evidence or it's pretty blatant, obvious. Yeah.
Usually, people are just like, oh, he's doing it on the lowdown. They're secretly conspiring against me.
Yeah.
Because of my skin color.
Yeah, but for Smollett,
what a dork.
But for Smollett, there's still people. The funny thing is, when there's no evidence, it's like, oh, this was a modern day lynching, and look at the struggles of the black man in America, even though he's a wealthy actor on TV.
But it's so tone
and
deaf.
now basically all the evidence comes out that he's guilty, and 100% he's guilty. I mean, the two brothers that were his personal trainers already admitted, like, yeah, we did this. So now, like, someone like Kamala Harris, who came out and said, oh, it's modern day lynching, now they asked her about it. She's like, it went this way, now that way, and who knows what went on. Like, we really do know what went on. Same thing with Brian Stelter on CNN.
Oh, my God.
He's like, we might never know what happened that night in Chicago. And it's like, yeah, we do know. We have confessions from the two brothers. We have them they're on videotape buying the stuff that was in the supposed, attack. We have the check he wrote them.
What more do you need?
Yeah.
A confession.
We have his Smollett's phone records. I mean, just even the fact that they called him in to identify the guys, and he immediately left once they showed him the picture of his 2 trainers.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now, what they should have done is just shown him pictures of 2 random white guys and seen what he would have said.
What a freaking...
I mean, I don't know legally if that counts as entrapment, but if they just showed him 2 pictures of random white dudes and he said, yeah, that's them, that's obviously another crime right there. It's another count.
Basically lying, dude.
Yeah.
Just a liar.
But as of right now, as far as I know, there's no federal investigation into him. But there 100% could be one open up, and I hope one is open up for mail fraud and terrorism.
Money talks, Jussie walks.
Well, that was lame.
It's a tweet that was in response to a picture of Jussie Smollett leaving the courtroom. Cameras are ready at the criminal court building, waiting for Jussie Smollett to come out. After SA, Kim Foxx decides to drop all charges against Smollett.
Which, by the way, I think that just shows a flaw in the judicial system right there. Why do you have how do you even have the power to do that? He'd already been indicted by a grand jury for an actual court case. Like how does the Attorney General have the power to say, you know what? No, just wipe that off. Yeah. No need to go to court. No need for the people to decide.
This is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. You would hope that something like this would unite more people on just like, hey, let's stop jumping to conclusions and stop race baiting. But no, like I already said, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, former cabinet member for Obama, like he was pretty livid about the Smollett thing too. But as soon as President Trump jumped in, he said it's because of the climate that Trump has created that Smollett thought he could get away with this and profit off race baiting, which makes absolutely no sense.
The freaking mental gymnastics these guys go through in order to try to justify their lame freaking agendas.
Yeah.
It's baffling to me.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, well, race relations worsened under Obama. It wasn't even Trump. I mean, I will say I don't think President Trump is... Like, I don't think race relations have gotten a whole lot better under him. I'm not saying that's necessarily his fault or anything. I'm just saying, I'm just giving what I think is the truth. But, no, it's not his fault that someone made up a fake hate crime. And again, so even when far leftists show some logic, then they just ruin it.
They ruin everything, man. What are we gonna do about it? Complain about it here on the radio show?
Yeah, we're gonna keep on keeping on, man. I mean, people will wake up to this kind of stuff.
They wake up to different things all the time, but will they wake up?
I'd rather not have it be on racial lines.
I mean, neither, because then
I will say, like, the most likely to wake up is white people, like white guilt, white people, because I think they'll eventually see, like, hey, I don't like being talked badly about and having to, like, now I'm kind of like the victim to things, and
yeah,
I don't have these kind of privileges. And just like in Georgia, there's, I think, a mayor race. There's some sort of race going on now.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some event. I think it was debate or something. Because I think at least one of the candidates is black. I think there was some event. And they posted on the sign, black media only.
Wow.
They're only letting in black media members.
We're going back to the way it was before, buddy.
And
you don't even know it.
All these are from the New York Times. Some are op-eds. But still, regardless, like, here's what I'm talking about, how people will wake up about race. Racial divisions. What I mean by waking up to race is wake up to the racial divisions that the left are trying to establish. And They'll wake up to the fact that race only means so much, and to just treat everyone as individuals, and we'll get along. Because here's just some headlines from the New York Times over the past couple years. I broke up with her because she's white. Can my children be friends with white people?
Wow.
The sum of my best friends are black defense. Who's afraid of a white minority? We can replace them.
Wow, pretty overt.
Well, the funny thing is, this is written by a white woman with a
Goldberg?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that classifies as white, my friend.
We'll just leave it at that. With her stupid pixie cut and her bangs. Which, by the way, people. Women with bangs, the shorter, and just don't. And the shorter the bangs, the crazier they are. Just take it from my experience. Okay, moving on. Sarah Zhang. New York Times stands by, quote, racist tweets reporter. So New York Times, they stand by Sarah Zhang, who I think they hired her
a year
ago, and she had some pretty racist tweets against white people.
Yeah, but she probably totally loves white guys.
Beauty is more diverse than ever. But is it diverse enough?
No, it's never enough. Never
diverse enough. Just means less white people. They called Black Panther diverse, and it's all black.
Yep.
And I have no problem with Black Panther being all black. It takes place in Africa.
But I'm just
saying, don't call it diverse.
The definition, words mean things.
I obviously have no problem with it being majority black, but New York Times, continuing. New Hampshire is 94% white. Is now trying to figure out how to change that.
Why?
Quote-unquote replacement theory, a racist, sexist doctrine spreads in far-right circles.
But it's literally part of the UN agenda.
Why the announcement of a looming white minority makes demographers nervous.
Oh my God, it's on their website.
The white extinction conspiracy theory is bonkers.
Oh my, I can read to you the report.
Diversity makes you brighter. And the Senate, affirmative action for white people. So those are just some headlines.
Affirmative action for white people.
So we over here will keep trying to value and judge people as individuals, and they over there will continue with their identity politics. And I'm hoping the individual wins.
Me too.
And that's all the time we have today, folks. Thank you for listening.
Dropping by.
Yes. We appreciate it.
Your time.
Yeah. You out there in Mesa, we appreciate you. You know who you are. And you in Avondale, we appreciate all of you. So thank you, and everyone have a good day.
Bye-bye.